Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Terrific Trav. How you doing today, bro?
I'm here.
Hey,
I'm in it.
Hey, it's good to see you, man. We're at the end of the year. This is the end game. We coming up on 3 years on our podcast, man, and it's been a really good year for us. And with us wrapping the year up, we got a couple of interviews and reviews that we saved to the end. And we're going to be reviewing The Matrix Resurrection, right? It's Resurrection, right?
Resurrections.
There we go.
Yeah, we got more than one resurrection this film, baby.
Hey, yeah, we did. So before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And Trav, tell them what D always says.
Hey, man, and you already know podcast is in the description. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Let's get it.
So, bro, I watched this movie on Christmas Day. I know that it came out the same week of Christmas, but I waited till Christmas Day to watch this because, I mean, you already know. I mean, Christmas, the holiday season, there's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? And, I checked it out. I really enjoyed it. I didn't look up any reviews or anything, but I know that some people were posted on my Facebook news feed that they weren't a fan of the movie. They thought that the movie shouldn't have even been made. They thought that The Matrix, it ended well with Revelations. And, I just want to ask you, like, what was your take on everything? Like, do you agree with what some of those people were saying, or did you love this movie? Because I know you trash everything, but you're a terrific Trav fan. So.
Well, I may have felt that way before the movie came out.
Okay.
And then once I saw this movie, my damn opinion changed. I said, okay. Because I like Matrix. The Matrix to me is a top 5 favorite movie of all time. And it's easily a top 20 most important movie in American cinema. I thought Reloaded was good.
Yeah.
And I thought the third one was meh.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I feel like, because you got to think, man, when Reloaded came out, it came out around the same time as X-Men. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not X-Men, but X-Men 2. And they had some heavy competition. And watching both of those movies, it's like you clearly knew which one was the better movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, and also by the time Reloaded came out, we was already getting flooded with Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, Spider-Man. Like Star Wars had come back into the fold, and we're getting those prequel movies. So, like when The Matrix came out, you were like, "Oh snap, this is crazy."
Yeah.
Not so much by the time the second one, came out. But yeah, storyline wise, though, I just thought the third ended kind of meh. This one though, I fell in love with this movie. This movie is awesome. I don't get it. I don't get the hate that it's receiving. I don't know why people watch this movie and don't like it, but this movie is incredible.
Yeah, man, I thought that it was good from beginning to end. I enjoyed that. It's like they thought that they were in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, my tag partner, Diamond Victor Groff, he was saying that he thought that they rebooted the Matrix, right? Because like when you reboot a system,
right?
Whatever memory was up there, like it goes back. It's all gone. It goes back to square one. So I like that. What's the word I'm looking for? Not description, but summary. Like this is what he thought was going on with the movie. But I mean, we end up finding out that that's not what's going on. That the machines, they did win. And I love the fact that it's like we thought that Neo and Trinity died, which they did, but the machines were able to save them in time and keep them together. Like, what movie, or it's a movie or TV show where it's just like two people have to be together so that way, it was like Hancock. Remember where it's just like him and his wife, they had, when they were together, both of them were weak. But that's the reason why they had to be far apart. Well, it's kind of the opposite, where it's like Trinity and Neo had to be together because it's like when they were together, they were like,
because love conquers all, man. Like that's just love. The power of love. Why are people hating on that?
Now, one thing that I'll say that I wasn't a fan of is I'm not a fan of them making Trinity the one. I feel like the one should always be Neo, but I think it would have been cool if both of them shared that power together. You know what I'm saying? I think that would have been cool. But when they did that ending, it kind of came off like The Incredibles 2, where it's just like Miss Incredible. She was the main character in this movie now, and it was pretty much the opposite. I mean, it was the same thing as the first Incredibles, but it was from a woman's perspective now. And it's like, I just wasn't a fan of that. I'm also not a fan of like how the movie ended. You know, it's like,
I loved it.
It's like, it was one of those things where it's just like, all right, we see Trinity and Neo, they're both flying. And it's like, I wanted more. And I think that that's a good thing when you finish watching a movie and you want more. But what I've read online is that they're not coming out with a fifth movie. Like they're saying,
I guarantee you they are.
They better.
Just maybe not as quick as they wanted to because of the box office situation that's going on. But here's the thing. It ended like every Matrix movie. So I don't know why people don't like that. I don't know why y'all don't like that ending, because it's a typical Matrix ending. Like, it comes in with the big glide type thing, and then that like music kicks in, and then the credits roll. It's like it's the Matrix ending. I loved it.
Bro, I mean, when you said something about the box office, I didn't know that they didn't make that much back.
Oh, it bombed.
The budget was for everybody that doesn't know, the budget was 190 million. They ended up making 70 million back. Like that's
70 international. That's not even 70 states.
Wow,
that's called?
Crazy, man. Now, why do you think it was do you think it was because of word of mouth that it was a box office flop, or do you think that it was because like certain people weren't in it? Like, you know, they had a new Morpheus, they had a new.
Because it was on HBMX, dude. I didn't see it in theaters.
I mean, that's true too. And what people have to understand is like, because I was talking with D about this, it's like those numbers add up. No, it wasn't D. I was talking to him, you know, former guests up here on the YouTube channel, Becca, and we were talking about Encanto, and in Encanto in theaters, it really didn't do that well. But on Disney Plus, like the numbers are high for that. And it's like when you have a lot of, you know, views on your product on Disney Plus or HBO Max, like that's how they keep on making money. I think it's like for every 1,000 views or something, they make so much money or something like that. I don't know if you're looking that up, Trav, but yeah, I mean, I feel like
HBO Max doesn't release their numbers, so that's why it's really hard to find out if a movie success. Unlike Netflix, where like after that first week, they can't wait to tell you, you know, numbers. Yeah, HBO Max, not so much. You know, you don't really get those numbers like that. So, you know, like we never really know for just how well did Justice League do. We don't know. Yeah, you know, we can go off Zack Snyder saying it did good. Yeah, but we don't know how good is good.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, man. I mean, you know, I really enjoyed the fact that, you know, not Neo, but Mr. Anderson. He was a video game developer, and he would see Trinity every morning at the coffee shop. And you know, I also like that it's like the way that the movie ends down is that they're going to live in this world where it's like they're in control and people can have free reign now. And
they've completely hacked the video game. They have the ultimate cheat codes. They can. It's like when you get the cheats in Grand Theft Auto, bro. You can do anything. Yeah. And that's what they got, bro. That's what I just don't understand what people aren't liking about this film. I really don't.
It's like you have humans and machines living in harmony now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I get the direction that they're trying to go in, and that's why I want to know, well, what are the machines going to do to retaliate? Because it's like they had this powerful source, and now they don't have that source anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. I want to see Agent Smith come back. We got to get Agent Smith back. You know what I'm saying? It's like he saved Neo, and then he was just like, "I'll see y'all later," and then he deuced.
Well, you know that's Jonathan Groff. What's it? Kristoff from Frozen.
Yeah, from Frozen. Yeah, right. My cousin told me that. Yeah, because when we were watching it, and I was just like, that name sounds familiar. And she was like, yeah, that's the guy from Frozen and Hamilton. I was like, oh,
Hamilton, yeah, King George and Hamilton. So, but yeah, I mean, again, the whole first act of this movie is pretty much her. It's just Lana just talking about the situation she's had to deal with WB over time. So she's like, screw it. You want me to make a movie? I'm going to make a movie, and I'm going to talk about all the BS that you've dragged me through. And the first half is just going to be a metaphor for how shitty your company is.
Yeah.
And we've heard how many complaints about Warner Brothers for like the last 5 years, from the DC stuff to
DC stuff,
this stuff now, and WB signed off on it and just went, yeah, okay, we don't care, trash us in the movie. So yeah, it's super cool that, it's kind of like government conspiracies where they're like, well, if we put the conspiracy out there, then we can be like, well, why would we tell you that if it was true or whatever? And the fact that they were like, well, we're going to make a video game about the Matrix, so it makes the Matrix even more unbelievable, is like super genius to me in this movie. And I love, how do you say his name? Is it just Yaya? Or
Yaya.
Dude, every time, first movie I ever saw him in was Greatest Showman. Then, of course, he was Black Manta.
He was Aquaman. That was the
and
first
then,
thing I saw
what's
him
it called? We saw him in Candyman, and I'm like, everything this guy does, he's so damn good in. He's so good. And people on the Lawrence Fishburne thing talking about something it's not the same, bro, they need to get real, because this dude was incredible. It's not, again, he's not real, he's a computer program Morpheus, so it makes sense.
And then this is the thing too that people have to realize, is that because Neo and Trinity were like, they were like in hibernation pods, so it's like they're aging. They're like, they didn't age like how Morpheus aged.
Yeah, Morpheus died out.
He died of old age.
Aged out.
You know what I'm saying? But then, you had Jada Pinkett Smith, she reprised her role. She was an old woman now. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of the people that were originally in the trilogies, like they were all old now, so it's like, I understand. I mean, it's just, they just moved on. I mean, like, I don't understand like why people are upset that it's like, Morpheus should still be in the movie. Like, he's dead.
And on top of that, they had a huge Lawrence Fishburne, or Larry, as throwback, but they had a huge statue of him in the movie of actually him. You know what I mean? So it isn't like they just crapped all over him and was like they didn't want to work with him or anything. It just didn't fit into
bad blood or anything. They
just didn't fit into the story.
They died.
And what else is crazy is that the chick that plays Bugs, she was gonna be in Shang-Chi.
That's
and
right.
she had to pick.
Yeah.
That red pill, blue pill. She had to pick, and she rolled with the Matrix.
His sister, right? And
she was gonna be. She was gonna be the sister.
But what's crazy about that is the girl who ended up getting that role, that's her first role in a movie, and like acting wise. Like, can you imagine that? It's like, your first role is a Marvel movie, and she killed it. So, I mean, bro, you want to know what? You want to know what this is again? This is Will Smith choosing Wild Wild West or The Matrix. But the only difference is that both actresses, they succeeded in the roles that they chose. So, but yeah, man, I mean, all in all, good movie. For me, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. I think it's an 8 out of 10.
The infamous 8 out of 10.
It's either gonna be a 7 or an 8. But yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. And Trav, what about you? Like, final thoughts? What's your rating on it?
Yeah, I mean, on Letterboxd, I gave it 5 stars. So over here on the pod, it's a 10 out of 10, dude. This movie, I ranked it as my 3rd favorite film of the year.
Okay. What were the other ones?
As for my first one was The Last Duel.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you've seen that.
I know what it is, but no, I haven't watched it.
My second one is this super, super emotional movie called Coda, that stands for Children of Deaf Adults, where it's a child that everybody else in their family's deaf except for her and her struggles. And then The Matrix, dude. Those are my top 3 this year. And I loved The Matrix way more than I thought I was going to love The Matrix. And again, it's just John Wick as Neo. Like, this dude looks just like John Wick. It's awesome.
It's just weird, man. It's weird seeing Keanu Reeves, because I mean, bro, you think about like all the movies that he's done like in these last couple of years, And I feel like the worst thing he did was Bill and Ted. That's because that movie was
well, and I don't say this with any jabs at Keanu Reeves, but Keanu Reeves is not a good actor. So what's it called? He's just a really, really nice guy, and he does a lot of charming roles that we all love him in. Yeah. But as an actor, he's not a good actor. So we just really like him, and he's really good and stuff, and I really enjoy watching him on screen.
It's kind of like Brendan Fraser.
It's like Brendan Fraser.
But Brendan Fraser is a good actor, though. But it's like you like seeing him on screen. Like I feel like everything that Brendan Fraser has done, like he's killed it. Whereas with
it's like Nicolas Cage too.
Like with Keanu Reeves, though, it's like I like the stuff that he's in, but like you said, he's not the best actor. But still, I mean, it's like people wanted Bill and Ted, but did we really need Bill and Ted? You know, especially this late in the game.
Not after seeing it.
Maybe if Bill and Ted would have came out in the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? But it was hard to get through. That's all I say about that. So, Trav, let them know where they can find you at the social media land. Everybody, thank you for watching our review. Make sure you let us know in the comments what you thought about the Matrix Resurrections, and let us know what your rating is. But yeah, Trav, go ahead and let them know where they can find you at.
Yeah, that's right. You can find me on the Instagram at ZK Audio. I'm also on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK, where I'm also on Letterboxd ranking and rating all my favorite movies. You can check out my 2021 list of the year. I think I've seen 116 2021 releases. Got them all ranked. Of course, where they gonna find podcast number one hero?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, everybody, for watching our video review. Make sure that you have a safe and happy new year. Make sure you check out some more of our reviews, interviews, and reaction videos that we have here on the channel. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.